But what we do have is what we call forced cohabitation of many of our young girls. And this exists in some inner city communities where girls are what you would term put out to a man or put out to a don, to live with or for him to have sex with, and for her to get certain resources to go to school or to help buy food for her family. Also, there's a gender burden of care where girls are expected to take care of their siblings when parents have passed away from HIV and AIDS. So older female siblings, aunts, grandmothers oftentimes are the ones who have the burden of care for the children and the family. Now, the issue of gender from a development perspective, why is it important? Again, why do we need to consider the issue of gender in science, medicine, and technology? Is for a sustainable development work. Now, the UN has specific gender target goals, and what they want to do, what is expected to be done for the world by the year 2030, is that all forms of discrimination against women and girls should be ended everywhere. There should be enhanced use of enabling technology, particularly in ICT, to promote empowerment of women and to encourage more women to participate in STEM through education and career. Also, adopting and strengthening policies and legislation for the promotion of gender equality through education, decent work, equal pay for equal work. Also, increase women's participation in political and economic decision-making processes. And those global goals are oftentimes broken down in manageable goals for each country or society. In Jamaica, we have our National Policy for Gender Equality, and Jamaica's goal is to reach gender equality by the year 2030, where women and men need to have access, equal opportunity rather, to work in partnership to achieve gender equality, eliminate barriers to equal participation in all levels of society for men and women, as well. Now, how do we ensure that we have a sustainable development world? How can we ensure that we speak about gender from a development perspective? How do we get gender incorporated in science, technology, and health? So importantly, the concept of gender mainstreaming, or the tool of gender mainstreaming, can be used to facilitate this process. Now, gender mainstreaming seeks to promote gender equity and to transform gender relations to ensure social justice and human rights. So gender mainstreaming assesses the implications of any planned policy, program, or action for women, men, boys, and girls. And every ministry, department, or agency in Jamaica is responsible to build gender perspective into all their policies and their programs. This will result in the reorganization, development, and evaluation of policy processes, having examined how the differential societal, social, economic, and political experiences of women and men impact these planned actions, policies, programs. Now, we mentioned that gender mainstreaming is based on gender equality and equity. And a focus on gender equality and equity is central to national development. It is linked to human rights, and it speaks to fairness and social justice for both men and women. And also, it contributes to good governance in respect of people-oriented participatory management, and is an enabling factor in current efforts to alleviate poverty. And you can think back on the issue of how even poverty is gendered. We see where 60.2% of our unemployed labor force in Jamaica are women, and that women are more likely than men to be poor globally. Now, some of the gender mainstreaming strategies that are used to ensure that our ministries, departments, and agencies have a gender perspective into their policy and program is: one, we can use gender training, gender-aware legislations, so debates on paternity leave, abortion, sexual harassment, etc. are examples of gender-aware legislations. Cross-sectoral partnerships as well. These include partnerships between different government ministries, departments, and agencies, or partnership of ministries or government entities with non-governmental organizations as well. Gender responsive budgeting, and also gender aware monitoring. And evaluation. Now that wraps up our lesson today on gender and ethical issues in science, medicine, and technology in society. So, to look briefly at what we discussed, we spoke on what is gender. We look at the issue of gender and development and its importance, gender socialization, how does gender socialization influences our attitudes, our behaviors, and our beliefs as well, and the agents of socialization which perpetuates and reinforces these gender ideals. We spoke on the family, educational institutions, religious institutions, our peer groups and our communities, and also the media, particularly social media as well. We look further on the issue of feminist ethics as well, and three important ethics that needs to be understood and discussed, which includes meta-ethics, applied ethics, and normative ethics as well. And we did look at Sandra Gilligan's model of gender ethics as well. Further, we looked at the issue of why there needs to be a gender focus in science, medicine, and technology in society. And further, we looked at gender issues that affect health. In particular, we looked at the issue of gender-based violence, HIV. And further, we looked at the issue of how do we now ensure that gender is mainstreamed into all our policies, or projects, or actions. How important gender mainstreaming is and what it seeks to achieve for a sustainable development world as well. So I'm hoping that this lesson served as an introduction to you on the issue of gender for those who are new in terms of the topic of gender, that have not been exposed to it to gender previously, I'm hoping that this lesson would have opened your interest some more. So if the lesson caused you to be curious as to how you can learn more about the issue of gender and development, feel free to pursue other gender courses. You can pursue other gender courses apart of your minor, that is a double major if you're pursuing it. Free electives, you can acquire free electives from the Institute for Gender and Development Studies. So if you're interested in the issue of gender socialization and wanted to explore gender socialization some more, you can seek to pursue Gender 2001, which speaks to gender in the Caribbean culture, the issue of the sexual and power relation between men and women. If that piques your interest, you can feel free to pursue the Gender 2004 course on sexuality, power, and illicit desire. And additionally, Gender 3031, gender, sex, and society, and the issue of abortion and homosexuality that we spoke on, Gender 3600, which speaks to gender, sexuality, and reproductive health, and HIV and AIDS. So as a part of your study for your upcoming exam, I would implore you to know as much content of this presentation as best as possible, to be familiar with the topic of gender from a development perspective, and to explore the theories and expansion of the discussion on gender in science, medicine, and technology, and how to understand and speak about gender from a sustainable development perspective, what it means to incorporate or mainstream gender in science, medicine, and technology for a sustainable development world. Also, in your free time, again, you can look at the videos that I presented in this lesson. They can be found. Those videos and others can be found on YouTube. Also, resources on OURBLE. I implore you to read and expand your knowledge on the issue of gender. So, thank you very much, and that is the end of today's lesson.